Alright, so second part of the hole cutting, we're just going to talk about basically cutting a hole over here, which you could apply to basically any corner, and then we're going to redistribute all of the polys here and basically clean house. So what I'm going to do is basically cut around this. So if we think about the first hole cut that we showed, we're kind of going in that direction. So we're going to cut around this so that we have this split in here, and then I could go ahead and I could just cut at these different points here. Now I know it doesn't look exactly like the first one we did, but it's not far off topology wise. It'll clean up in a second. If you want, you can basically cut all the way through to this center and just go like that, and we can just go from here to the center there, go there, and something like that. I'm going to eventually like clean this up, so I'll go ahead and just add in, let me slide that up a little bit, I'll add in those edges right here. It'll be kind of like this. And you know, if you had a continuing mesh going this way, you can just go right to there. But for this one, I'll go like this, and then I'm actually eventually going to put an edge here just to even out the mesh. So I'll just do it right now. Okay, and then from here we have the same thing as on the other side. So we'll just go from here to there, like so. Alright, so now we go back to the hole that we're going to create, and we've got everything right inside of here, and we've got our guide, and we just need to circularize this, and it looks wonkadoodle, but we can play around with this a little bit, and then once we have that figured out, we can we'll just move it into place like right here. And then if you need to rotate it some more, you can just go ahead and adjust this to wherever you think fits best. Maybe like right there. The topology looks a little bit funny, but I'm going to balance that out anyway. So let me go ahead and just scale this in so that we can hold that edge. We'll delete the middle, and there we go. So we have this. And you can see we've got, you know, we went around just like we did with the first one. We've got this 8-sided hole, and which works really well. I mean, it's pretty much about the minimum that you'd want to use for a hole cutting. Could you technically use like a 6 or something like that, like a 6-sided hole? Sure, you could get away with it, but for the most part, this is what's going to look good, or look the best. And it looks like I did something here. I've got some n-gons here going on, but that's okay. We'll clean those up. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean up these n-gons right here, and a way to do that is just to connect right here like that. So we had a 5-sided and a 5-sided, and we just drive one piece right in between the two. And then when we look over here, let's just say we need this piece to be kind of like completely all quads, and basically terminate on the edges like this. We'll just go ahead and remove, we'll remove this. And you could do the same thing on all of these. So basically run that out to there. Run that there, and once we have that kind of containment, like if we did need this, I'm just doing this to show like how I might even the mesh back out. I thought it would be just a good little example. But once we have this kind of containment, we can go ahead and like balance out the points on the edges, like these verts. Like I can go ahead and just sort of pull these so that they're more evenly distributed. And I'm sure there's a tool out there that does this to I just don't have that tool. But I'm sure there's one where you can just grab these edges. If you look, someone's probably made it where it'll evenly distribute the verts amongst them. So, you know, these you can scale in, something like that. There you go. And then, of course, like you can see here, like this is not as balanced. This is not as balanced, but we can move those around a little bit. Maybe move that a little bit. Something like that. Now that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. If you really want to, I've showed this before. You could grab all the interior verts that aren't touching the fencing around any of the cuts. Okay, so none of these, and none of the outside. But if you grab all the interior verts, like so, you could do an average verts on them and see how that looks. But you kind of want to, if you're going to average the verts, you want to distribute the outside edges first. Otherwise, they're going to average to wherever those outside edges are. So you would do this and just go average verts, and you could hit G again, see how that looks. Maybe once is enough. Once is enough, so we'll just leave it at that. And it just balances it out a little bit more. So now this mesh could totally, you know, it's pretty balanced. I think it would deform well. Maybe I missed this one. There's always one. You know, we can do something like that, like maybe balance this out a little bit. And there we go. It's pretty good. Not perfect. I could, you know, spend more time on it, but it's just, you know, it's one little hole cut. Some of these things, you know, you could leave till a little bit later, clean them up later. But I actually tend to want to clean them up as I go along, because they can get away from you. You can basically like forget about them, and then later something comes up, it doesn't look right, and you're like, wait, what's going on? And oh, I didn't fix that. And I'd just rather just do it like right when I'm there. Okay, so that's it for part 2. Thanks for Okay, that's it for part 2. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.